my J to C crypto army. What's going on? Welcome back. Things have been pretty crazy. Just about everything that could possibly go wrong in the world usually does go wrong, and it is going wrong. And so I'm making a brief video today about stellar lumens because some of the world events have an effect on the product, right? So what can we expect? What speculation do we have? All right, but before we do that, just so let you guys know, this is not financial advice. I will not tell you to buy, hold, or sell any cryptocurrency. I'm giving you the information so that you can do your own research, make your own informed decision, right? And if you guys really find my content useful, please like and subscribe below. It really helps me out. There's been a real slowdown in some subscribers, but it's okay. You're not obligated to. But if you do find this information useful, subscribe so that and hit the notification button so that anytime I post a video, you guys can see it first, right? So let's start with the news. Russia invaded Ukraine. How does that affect the world, and how does that affect Stellar in particular, right? So we had a project with Stellar where Ukraine was testing out a cryptocurrency. One of the larger banks in Ukraine was testing out cryptocurrency on blockchain, Stellar. I'm sure that's all come to a pause until we figure out what's going on in Ukraine. And you know, by the looks of things, they're going to fall to Russia. No countries are really stepping in to help. They all don't want a massive war with Russia. Understandably, they're one of the powers of the world, and they have a lot of nuclear capabilities. But you know, it's something that's being avoided, right? Because they have partnerships. You don't just go to war with Russia without affecting their partners, right? With China and a few other ones that don't want to lose allies. So when we look at these projects and what's going on, when you look at Stellar as a whole, usually when there's a fear like this, you see some type of sell-off of things, and they move their, smart money, or whales tend to move their money in the direction to where it's safest, where they continue to make growth, right? So there's things like put options where they'll move their money and say, I bet that the economy is going to drop here by this time. And then they make money as the economy is going down. Or they make call options where things go up. But in this case, we've seen the whole market as a whole go down. We've seen cryptocurrency as a whole go down. And, we've been pretty on point with calling these rises and drops. So as you can see in the Bollinger Band, I called it when it said, when it goes below this, usually that means that it's going to head up within a couple of days, and it did. It went above it, and it goes back down. It went below the Bollinger Band, so it's on the way back up. So don't be surprised if this continues to rise up. And I called it within the next few days. I said sometime before the end of the month, hopefully it would be back up to, above, I say above 21 cents. But it really depends on what this is doing, right? There's not a whole lot going on right now because everybody's kind of watching the news. They're seeing the events. Will an all-out war break out? Will the U.S. keep printing money in a rate that it should never do? Because that's going to affect the U.S. dollar. If it affects the U.S. dollar, nobody's going to want to be in the U.S. dollar. We're going to move it to a cryptocurrency which is going to retain value, such as Bitcoin. Unfortunately, people are still investing in Ethereum, which I hate Ethereum. And XLM is going to be another big one, XRP. XRP recently had another major victory against the SEC, and that's going to drive up the price with XLM. Once that clears, XLM is going to go off with XRP. Just because the two have always been tied together. People just think of XRP, they think of XLM, and vice versa, right? You think of XLM, you think of XRP. Even though they're not really competitors, but, I bought right at the very bottom here a few days ago. I have a buddy of mine that does some video. I'll link him in the description below. He talks a lot about sports, calls, bets for FanDuel. His name is What the Fuck Chuck. So shout out to What the Fuck Chuck. He does really good work. He's a friend of mine, and I was talking to him actually at the bottom. When I saw that this was dropping, I told him I bought XLM, and I accidentally bought more than I wanted to, but it was good because like 3 hours later I was up $300, and just from buying it at the very bottom here, And this is what I preach. This is what every channel, doesn't matter who you go to, they're always going to preach: buy the dips. When you see these big, massive reds, that's to buy. When you see a continuous day after day of red and downward trajectory, that is the time to buy. So what I look at is the moving average, right? And everything is right now where it's at is pointing like it's going kind of upward. So you see this yellow line here, the moving average, and the purple is the RSI. It's all pointing upward, right? So usually it goes down and then it stops and then it curves and then it just shoots up. And so this looks like it's starting to level off in the middle. So that means that it's most likely going in the upward directions, right? And if we look historically, this is exactly what we saw here. So it's these lines are very hard to predict because they just make such massive turns. I mean, look at this RSI. It went down, dropped, and then it shot up. And so the fact that we're down here again, whenever it drops down below this part right here, this 30 level, it just seems to shoot up right up we reach the line. So, it hit near the bottom and it's on the way up. And I'm hoping that it continues in that direction, right? We need to see some gains here. For sure, but again, I'm not concerned, and I've mentioned this time and time again. I will continue to invest in XLM, right? And you don't have to be rich. I'm certainly not rich. I don't have thousands of dollars that I can pour in, but whenever I have a spare 100 or something after my bills are all paid and I have a little bit left over that I can spare, instead of going out and wasting it on something stupid, I'm investing it, right? I'm not going out and buying a bunch of crap that I don't need, but I am. I could still indulge a little bit. I've been very blessed to have that opportunity. I know a lot of people are struggling out there, but I've been very blessed to have enough left over so where I can, go out and enjoy something with my family and still have enough left over to invest a little bit. But I certainly am not a whale. At least I don't consider myself one. I have about almost 7,000 XLM. For those of you that want to know how much I actually have in here, so that's 7,000 XLM coins. Right, not $7,000 worth, but just and I'm accumulating. Right, I don't see a limit. Right, so I'm trying to do things differently than what I was taught as a child, and that's just get a job, save, hope that you can work 60 years of your life, and then at the end of the 60 years, maybe you can retire with a small paycheck that's monthly through a 401k or Social Security. That's not how I want to live, and that's not how I'm going to teach my children. Right, I'm taking right now money that I would spend on something useless and stupid. Like maybe I don't need to go out to that restaurant today. Maybe I can just cook at home, and all this extra money at the end of the paycheck and the time frame, I just put it into cryptocurrency or I invest in something. Right, it's a smart thing to do, especially for our generation that we have not been taught, and a lot of us are coming to the realization that we haven't been taught anything useful in these schools. Right. You go to a school and they teach you the basics, they teach you the foundations. Obviously it's important to know how to read, do your research and things like that. But they never taught me in school how to do a mortgage. They never taught me in school how to manage debt. They never taught me about investing. And if it did, it was very narrow or very, dull teachings. But I've never been taught that the investments now, how to reach passive income, how to invest in real estate property, because they taught you in the world that if you wanted to be a billionaire, you had to go to school, you had to go to college, you had to get a degree, you had to go to a company, and you had to work your way up to a CEO. That's what I've been taught. I've never been taught and encouraged as a child to be an entrepreneur, and I think cryptocurrency is finally that window that a lot of people in our generation are starting to see. Cryptocurrency is going to make millionaires. It's going to break people from generational poverty. The people that truly understand, the people that are tired of being in a position where the elite and the rich and the government control every aspect of your life and pretty much suppress you. And the laws a lot of the time don't work for the common worker. They work in favor of the entrepreneurs. So this is, in my opinion, our opportunity to make a change in the world. So hopefully those of you that are blessed enough to change your situation, to become millionaires, that you do things differently than the millionaires that already exist. There's a lot of them that are very selfish, that are very self-centered. They don't care. They worship themselves, and they tend to become very egotistical and look down upon people that are less fortunate. So as things start to progress, and those of you that invest properly and start to see a change in your life, I really hope that you make a difference in the world by using your money in a better way towards humanity, towards our brothers and sisters out there that are struggling. So I hope that message gets across to a lot of people, because millionaires are being born every day with cryptocurrency. And I certainly expect all those that invest in XLM to have a very bright future financially. All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. There's still not much going on. Expect a rise in XLM, and it's probably going to reach the top of the Bollinger Band and then come back down, because it usually follows the average, which is the lowest point of sale and the highest. But it kind of bounces up and down between these bands. But I'm keeping an eye on it, because as the Bollinger Band squeezes and narrows, that's when you have the most potential for a breakout, right? That's what we're really looking for. These breakouts right. Oh, I kind of screwed this up. Sorry. Well, I'm gonna have to reset this, but I don't know what I just did. I think I moved this to the bottom for some reason, somehow. I have no idea how I did that, and I have no idea how I moved it back. But we're looking for these breakouts that shoot straight up, and they move the Bollinger Band in the upward direction. But anyways, I'll be back with another video as soon as I have some more updates. If you guys really like this content, like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in a couple of days.